There was a boy who met an old man every day on a broken bench no one cared about. But years later, he discovered something he could never explain. The old man wasn't just wise. He was describing events before they happened. And the scariest part, he was always right. Tommy was 14, not lazy, not stupid, just tired in a way he couldn't explain. Life felt heavy without reason. School felt pointless. Home felt loud. And every day felt like repeating the same struggle in different forms. He didn't know what exactly was wrong, only that nothing felt right. Every afternoon, he walked the same road with his headphones loud, avoiding eye contact with the world. But there was always one thing he couldn't ignore: a bench by the roadside, and an old man sitting on it like he had been placed there by time itself. One day, as Tommy passed, the old man spoke without looking at him. He said, "Stop walking like you were escaping your own life." Tommy stopped immediately. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. He turned and asked, "Are you talking to me?" The old man finally looked at him and said, "I am talking to the version of you that hasn't collapsed yet." Tommy frowned, confused, and walked away, but the words stayed with him longer than expected. Days later, something unusual happened. Without planning it, Tommy found himself sitting on that same bench. The old man didn't react. He just said calmly, "Life is not heavy." Tommy scoffed. But the man continued, "The way you resist, it is what makes it heavy." Then, he picked up a small stone from the ground and held it in his hand. "If I hold this for 1 minute, it's nothing. If I refuse to let it go in my mind, it becomes pain." Tommy didn't respond. For once, he didn't argue. He just listened. Then the old man said something that made him uncomfortable. He said, "You will try to prove that life is unfair." Tommy laughed and said that wasn't true. But the old man only nodded and replied, "You will still try, and you will repeat the same mistake twice before you understand why you are stuck." Tommy stood up immediately and asked, "How do you know what I will do?" The old man answered without hesitation, "Because I have already seen you do it." That sentence followed Tommy home, not because it made sense, but because it didn't. From that day, things began to shift in ways he couldn't explain. Every time he struggled with something, the old man had already hinted at it before it happened. Every excuse he tried to make in his mind had already been answered before he said it. It stopped feeling like advice and started feeling like prediction. Weeks passed, and Tommy slowly changed. He studied more. He complained less. He started thinking before reacting. But something about it felt strange. Like his life was no longer fully random. It felt observed, controlled in a way he couldn't understand. Then one day, Tommy rushed to the bench. It was empty. No old man. Just silence. He waited longer than usual, but nothing happened. An old woman nearby watched him and said, "You're looking for him again." Tommy nodded. She sighed and said, "He doesn't stay where his work is done." Tommy asked, "What work?" The woman replied, turning confusion into direction for boys who were about to become someone else. Years passed. Tommy changed completely. Not perfect, but focused. He built discipline. He built direction. He built a life that no longer felt like survival. But he never forgot the bench. One day, he returned. A teenage boy was sitting there, angry, restless, lost. The boy looked up at him and said, "Why do you walk like you were escaping your own life?" Tommy stopped, and in that moment, everything hit him at once. He wasn't being guided. He was being replaced. Because the old man was never just one person. He was a cycle, a reflection that only appears when someone is about to become who they were meant to be. And now, it was Tommy's turn to sit on the bench.